Sup? QSP knives. Ooh, good spinner. This is a QSP Ripley 14C28N, black G10. It looks like the blade's black too. Yep, QSP Ripley. All right. And of course, if you want the schematics or the measurements, here they are. Go ahead and hit pause and you can read all of that. But it looks like about a 3.5-inch blade, 4.5-inch handle. I mean, it's not a small knife for sure. A couple of stickers, standard stuff. And did I just see? Yeah, what does QSP call this? I don't know. 14C, QSP logo. It's got the QSP triangle, reversible pocket clip, nice tension, G10. Can I see it? I don't think I see liners in there, but yeah, it's really stiff. So I do see that there's this section of the knife up here that's housing the action. That is steel. But back here, it's just G10. But it's thick. It's rigid, stiff. What do they call this action? A glide lock. Yep. QSP glide lock action. All right, well, let's get rid of all of this distractive stuff. And let's get a towel. What's going through my head right now is the QSP glide lock adjustable? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever known. I might have known on another knife and just don't remember. It's very smooth. Let's try Spidey flick. Oh, yeah. Oh. Solid. It's got a little tiny wiggle in it. I do like the milling in this G10. Definitely provides grip. And they've milled kind of jimping down here on the bottom and on the top. So it's got rough surface. You can feel all that. I do like it. Yeah. It's a little stiff on that detent on the bottom. I mean, look how it's pulling that in. It's stout. Well, let's take a look in there and see if it's adjustable. I think I'm going to pull this side and lift the scale. T6s, T6s, T6s. Actually, I'm going to have to pull this side because the pivot is not machined on that side. And so 100%, I would not be able to get that scale off unless I pulled the pivot. Which, you know, I'm not necessarily adverse to doing. We may do it anyways, but we'll see. Let's take it one step at a time. Yeah, it's definitely murdered out. The knife is completely blacked out, except for the QSP logo on the blade and the triangle on the pivot. Got the short screw in the front, long screw in the back. Basically the same on these scale screws right here. Short and long. Looks the same. This one's maybe a little longer. So I think I'll maintain it. Now the scale should pop right up. Yep. Lots of oil in here. And it is not adjustable. In order to adjust that, we'd have to change the profile of the spring itself. It's awful oily in here. I think I'm going to go ahead and take it apart. Pretty simple format. Got a little Zerk insert into the G10 there to lock down that other pocket clip screw. Same thing on this side. I think I have to take this screw right here. If I take that screw, then the whole thing comes apart, I believe. Well, let's see if I can push that pivot out. There it goes. And I think the reason I want to get in here is because there's a lot of oil in here, and I think I want to clean that up a little bit, clean up these bearings. And of course, the bearings are a hodgepodge. There's oil all in here, but then these are greased with some kind of grease. Who knows what that grease is? But we're going to wipe it all down, get rid of it all, clean it up, and then we'll put a nice coat of light oil on it. I'd be tempted to lighten the spring tension, but I think I'll leave it be, because although it's stiff, it's got a great detent on it. That felt like there's washers inserted into that for some reason. It's almost like there's a bottle opener in the blade right there. Yeah, no washer. Big, thick G10 scales, and I think that's why they weren't flexing. I mean, nice and solid. I should probably take this apart and wipe all that down really well. All right, got a couple of small parts and we're good. I think I'll leave it on the little barbell. Maybe a little stickier lube than what I would put on it. And thinking about it, I just changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and take it right off of there. All right. There's a lot of cleanup going on there. So I want this side down. And I think I can put the last part that I took apart off. I can put it on, which is this spring and the barbell, the lock mechanism, or lock bar, or I'm sure there's a technical name for it. But I think I can put that on and put the scale on to the, I don't know, the liner. Let's call it a liner. And I think I'll put the pivot in because once I tighten that, it might be hard to get that pivot in there. So I think I can get this whole setup right here together and put a screw in there and hold that down. The screw right here. Yeah, so now that's all on lockdown. I don't think I'm worried about any of that coming apart. So I want to go the cage side up for the recess in the blade here. I put a little dab of doopy, dabble do ya, Dahmer goo. Oop, upside down. There we got it. I mean, this type of action is pretty solid. I mean, that wasn't very complicated to get that at all. And it's because it's short. When they're long, the whole length of the knife like that, you got to manipulate these. You got to get, so that actually went pretty smooth. I mean, because of that, I wouldn't hesitate in a second to, you know, if if I if I owned this knife and wanted to carry it or whatever, I wouldn't hesitate for a second to adjust these springs because it's easy to get in here. Yeah, easy to adjust, easy to get in here and fine tune it. Because sometimes that fine tuning, you got to do it once, and then you got to do it again, and you got to take it apart. Went too far, then you got to go a little less, and but I wouldn't hesitate on this piece to do it at all because of the way that they put this together. Yeah, I mean, that's all secure now. Might as well. I guess it'd help if I put the pivot screw in. Yeah, that's pretty dry right there. I'm going to put a drop of that lightweight oil on there. Yeah. Yeah. All right, pocket clip. And I've been meaning to get my January ride in, but we got ice and snow, and now it's just frigid. Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw snow on the Destin Beach. What's up with that? Building snowman, go to Destin, hang out in the snow. All right. Well, let's talk about this action. Let's talk about this knife. Everything's buttoned up really well. Locks up just so super tight. Wonderful. Yep. Thumb flick. Spidey flick. Let's do the button. Yeah. Very nice. I mean, for this type of lock, I'm gonna give it. I'll give it an A minus. It's really running well. I can even slow roll it now that I've tuned that a little bit. It seemed a little sticky, a little tight the first time. Sticky's probably not the right word, but it definitely did not feel like it wanted me to slow roll that out of there. It came off of that initial detent a little more stiff, but look how harsh that closes now. I mean, the spring tension on it is it's got high level. Like if there's high, medium, low level spring tension, I'm gonna call it high. You know, I can do it with one finger, but not really. It's two button lock disengagement. Yeah, which isn't the end of the world, but definitely can be tuned. Ergonomics. Yeah, so very comfortable in hand. I love all the jimping, big jimping, but, you know, comfortable in hand, but I feel all that. It definitely makes the knife feel like it's more comfortable in hand, more confident of a grip. Not so confident, very confident. For those that, you know, have been around the channel for a while, I'm going to come up short of a confident grip only because I don't have a real finger guard here. Even, you know, a back flipper with even just an eighth of an inch poking up there to hold my fingers back. Because if this went forward and met resistance, let's say a piece of leather or a button or, you know, something like that, and it caught resistance, there's a chance that, especially if my hands are wet, that I'd come up and over and onto that blade. And so, you know, therefore, I'm going to come up short of a confident grip. This reverse grip, yeah, it's as solid as they come. Wonderful. There's no questioning whether that's a very confident grip because I can cap it with my thumb. I'm locked in here. Even wet hands, I'm able to grip onto the pocket clip. I mean, all that contributes. And to make me doubly happy, the knife functions with this Pocketknife reverse grip as well. And I'd much rather be here than here. Yeah, because this way I'm counting on the lock bar, the lock itself, and if it fails, the dull spine of the knife's going to come over on my fingers. Whereas this way, I'm going against that lock, and if it fails, that sharp knife's going to come over on my fingers. So yeah, but this is very nice right here. Yep, boom. Yeah, lots of power in that one. Let's check pocket clip. And of course, it's going to be wonderful. Just looking at it, I already know. Deep carry, knife's completely gone in there. Good profile, and these little holes are going to assist me to pull it out because it does have like F5 tension. Yeah, this thing, I mean, you put a knife in there and tumble around on the ground, whatever goes on, you know, go for a long jog or a fast sprint run. When I reach back for this knife, reach to get this knife, it's going to be right where I left it. Standard jean size material. It is locked in. My spot in the back pocket, yeah, when I reach back for this, it's going to be right there. Wonderful pocket clip. Yeah, it's exceeding expectations for sure. What about safety? Can we catch the blade anywhere? Not there. The tip is recessed, so the tip's good, clip's good. And I can handle this knife any old way I want and not catch the sharp part. Let's check that lock real quick. Yeah, no worries on that lock. That type of lock, those are solid. Very confident locks. All right, 14C, tall, flat grind, very thin on the edge down there. What's up? I mean, it's got a little booger. I am going to do a little booger removal. I'm going to use this little work sharp field sharpener. Just hit the strop. I'm not going to ceramic it or anything. And especially with that black coating, man, I only want to be on that bevel. It's amazing how many knives I look at in the used market that are either pictures sent to me or I'm out there browsing around in the for sale world. And I'm looking at the images, and you can see where somebody has stropped the knife and they've gone up on the edge of the blade and created this ghost scratched effect along the edge of the blade. And it's from stropping at too low of an angle and getting up on the strop. Yeah, that's what that's from. And I don't like it. I don't think it's very attractive. Yeah, this thing, it just had a couple of little tiny boogers on it, and they're gone now. So yeah, wonderful. All right, what we're left with is price and availability. How much is this, dude? Okay, these list for right around $75. So if you find these on Timber's Edge Knives, I believe they have a couple of different versions of this. And I think the difference is maybe a satin blade, different colored scales. I think that's the difference in these models. But with the discount code from watching the channel, and you can find that code down below in the description, all the codes for discounts with friends of the channel are down below. But with that discount code, that gets it right around $65, $67, something like that, I think. No shipping, no tax from Timber's Edge Knives as well. Yeah. The QSP Ripley 14C G10, and it's got their glide lock. Yeah, pretty cool. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching.